All right, so we're live here today. Working on, I had a request on somebody who's watching some of my videos and helping people change chords and giving them some great ideas. So somebody asked me if I could help them get to B minor from different chords. Yes, I have lots of strategies for that. So we'll check that out for sure. So if we're starting here and we want to think about getting to B minor, if I'm on like a G chord, for example, what I try to do is I think finger 3 and 4, my pinky. If you guys are watching, let me know or give me some comments or say something because, I like to talk to people. So I like to be transparent. So this is how I am private one-on-one. This is how I am live. I find when I do edit videos, whatever, you're trying to make it perfect and everything. But this is me. Sometimes I'll slur words. I won't say things perfectly, whatever. I'm thinking about a billion things. But that's cool. My goal is to help you guys. So what I get most of my students to do if I had to get from a G to a B minor, I would say, hey, why don't we forget about our right hand for a bit and let's think about making 3 and 4 jump to there. And let's see if we can get them to do that. Because all these shapes mess with your brain a bit. So when you tear them apart and do them in stages, there's a good way of doing it, and there's a good way of doing it. Because technically this is a G chord anyways. So if I can get you to do that and strum G from there, and then you got those there. Now we could do an easy B minor. So an easy G looks like this because these are all the notes in a G chord. Basically a D, a G, a D, and a G again. We don't really have the third, so the third would be B. So we got this, and we're trying to get to there, back and forth. If that becomes easy, then try to get finger 2 to land on string 2, fret 3 with it. I'm hearing some noise. I'm just checking out my focus rate. And then try to get all 3 to land now. So this is the easier B minor. We can play it like that instead of having a bar. So this is one way of working it. And back and forth. Oh, I see what's happening. That's not on. There we go. That's better. I kept hearing something popping. So when you have microphones that need gotta have well, this is a mic where you have to have the 48 hertz on it. So there's a button 48V you have to press in or the mic won't work. So anyways, going from that to G. So G, and then I would use these 2 fingers because to play the full G chord, you can keep 2 on the bottom. So we're kind of like that, and then there. You don't even have to strum. You could hold the full G now and try and do that. Now, if you get that going good, let's try to make finger 2 go down to string 2 while they're going there. So now we're getting this. We're slowly teaching our hand, some muscle memory. Takes a lot of work to get this stuff. I've been watching lots of videos and guys are really good out there, but I don't think they're really helping the beginners that are starting out or beginner trying to get to intermediate. So I really thought I should try to take on a lot of cool things and help you guys that I use within my private one-on-one classes. So that's pretty cool if I can drop them in like that. So now you can see finger 4, 3, and 2 are landing and then coming back. And notice how I don't really move my hand around. Like this is the worst thing you can do. Oh my God, I got to get over here and your hand's going everywhere. Basically, you want to just try to lift and place your fingers. You can see my thumb, I'll let it stick up a little bit more. And it doesn't really move, does it? It just stays there. My hand kind of pivots with it, more like this, but I'm not moving this way or moving that way. That's one of the things I find when I'm watching certain tutorials and they're talking about chord changes and that. The most important thing is not moving your hand so much. So, for example, I've shown this a lot on my videos where if I want to get to a D chord, and I want to teach you guys how to get to a D chord easy and transition simply through it, I would say keep these 2 fingers there and let's train these 2 guys to be able to lift and go down to the notes for the D chord, which is basically finger 2's on the bottom string, if you don't know that, and finger 1's on the 3rd string, and they're both in the 2nd fret. You'd see it better if I move those 2 fingers, right? Keep my guitar so the light's not shining on the fretboard like this, because that doesn't help you any. But so that's pretty cool. And then, so if I wanted my students to learn G's to D's, I'd be like that and like that. Now we're saying, okay, B minor. Okay, we'll try to get this and this first. Now try to get finger, and I'm doing it pretty fast. So, usually when I see my students try it, they're like, what? And it's like, same stuff for me when I'm learning hard stuff. I got to take my time. Today I was learning some blues stuff, trying to learn some Josh Smith phrasings. He's doing things like, he play these chords, and then he adds all these. So then he just doesn't play the chords, and he just plays the notes. So he's doing something like, when he does it, he's really got a lot of things he's got going on, all these moves that he's worked on for a long time. So that's all it is. It's lots of practice, lots of tricks. I got lots of tricks too. But when I'm teaching, it's not about me just playing, and I like to give you guys ideas. Okay, so we got the simple way to get from G to B. It's not a simple way, but an easier B minor, I should say. So this is an easier B minor. Why do I say it's an easier B minor? Because when I teach people to try to bar a chord, they have a really hard time barring. So there's a lot of cool tips we can think about. All right, so let's go and let's try to learn the barred version of a B minor chord. What I would probably get my students to do is take fingers 2, 3, and 4. I'm not sure if you know an A minor chord, but if you do, cool. And I would use 2, 3, and 4 and play my A minor chord, right? If I slide these 3 fingers up 1 fret and I bar from here down. Now, the funny thing about barring is really these 3 fingers are on those notes, so this finger's not really doing anything for those strings anyways. So technically, if we wanted to think about it, we could think about this finger as really only pressing on string 5. The other thing I notice when people do bar chords is they keep this finger really flat. It's already hurting my shoulder because I'm fighting with myself. So what I ask my students to do is, can you roll your finger onto the side a little bit? Because what that does is it brings your fingers up to the B minor notes here. So you can see that even if I'm playing A minor, my wrist isn't back this way. And when I come this way, I don't push it up like this neither. I still have enough room to get a pen or a pencil between my hand, but I'm pivoting on my thumb more. It's almost like when you do Sunshine of Your Love. I was just teaching that one. I don't really go like this. I don't move my hand. It's kind of just this. Right? I'm just sliding my fingers and pivoting on my thumb. So same move could happen there. So if we're going from G to B minor, we could come this way and we could swivel in like this. And then look at that. That finger's there and ready. Now it's not easy when I show people. They have a hard time still. But a little bit of an idea on how you can maneuver from G. I wouldn't play G like this way. I'd be back this way. My wrist would be back here. But then when I want to get to B minor, I would pivot this way, and then you can see my finger falls in, bam, like that. Get back to G, I don't really have to move this finger. I can just pivot back. So it's almost like I'm doing this. This is pretty cool exercise. Try to, get that to happen. And then back. Notice how my finger's not even coming off the string. And then drop them in. Once you start doing a bit of those, maybe try strumming. I don't know what the chord is that you're coming from to get to B minor, but I'll take it from G and I'd be like 1, 2, 3. And I could do the easy one first and then go 1, 2. Try to get it so that you can keep it going. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. 2, 3, 4, and 1. So the next next exercise would be trying to do it from here. Try to take it, move it up, and bar it. Remember we talked about our wrist coming this way a little bit to get that. Think about your finger being on its side. You can do all your bar chords. So if you know this is A minor, this is A, then this is A sharp minor. So now you're going to learn all the names of your chords. B minor, C minor. All we're doing is sliding up a fret. C sharp minor, D minor, D sharp minor, E minor, F minor, F sharp minor, G minor, G sharp minor, back to A minor, A sharp minor, and back to D minor. So very cool just to know that, and it building strength, and you can pick tone. And that goes. Yeah, I need a tune up. I haven't tuned this thing in a while. It is pretty good. Yeah, so that's the idea of maybe that might help you get through that changing from a G to a B minor, a D to a B minor. You could think D, you're trying to get these guys to jump there and then land. G, the same thing. Get always these guys first because your pick's going to hit these strings first, isn't it? So we want to try to get, say I'm strumming and then I wouldn't strum the top two strings if I'm using the easy B. I'd just strum from the fourth string down. Excuse me. Right? I'd do stuff like that. Or just down strums. It's probably the best way if you're trying to actually make the transition work to and counting in four. Try not to stop your right hand from strumming. I find a lot of people when they're learning their chord changes, they'll do this. Right? So I try to use the analogy of if this hand stops, it's like if you got 8 guys working and 7 of them stop working, is the 8th guy going to keep working? You might want to stop too, right? That's just kind of my analogy of it. But if you keep this guy moving, if you force him, don't make it stop, but strum at a speed that you can handle the change at because it's going to get faster. You want to start slow and then build up your speed. So 1, and I'm always let my students know, think ahead, be thinking about your B minor. You can't be there going 1, 2, oh God, I got to get dinner made. I got to do this. No. We got to be concentrating. We're always thinking about where are we getting to. We're coming from G, where are we going to as we're strumming? 1, 2. I'm constantly thinking about those 2 fingers, and 1. Obviously, I don't do that anymore, but my fingers just play now, right? And then you can try closing your eyes and see if you can land them once you feel like you're getting, oh, you missed. Oh, well. But anyways, close your eyes, and I do that because a lot of students get really upset when they make a mistake. I try to let them know that's nobody got hurt. You're just practicing trying to land your fingers on the right spot. No harm done, right? So just work it lots like that. And then if you wanted to get that barred one by trying to pivot in. So that was the exercise there, pivoting in like that. All right, I hope that helps. I had somebody ask me how I would try to get somebody through changing to a B minor chord. If you have any more questions, by all means, I love doing the live thing. So if you ask me anything, it doesn't take me long to just go on live and do a video and try to help you guys out. I'm still building my website. That's where all my edited videos will go that take me up to 3 hours and things of that nature. So it's very time consuming. But yeah, guys, leave me any comments, guys, girls. I keep saying guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to do that. I mean everybody from everywhere. I'm cool. All right. Have a great weekend, and hope I hear from you guys again. Bye for now.